What's going on, guys? This is Vincent, Professor Coop. I'm just going to run down my top teams for the Eastern Conference, starting with the lowest. These are just ranking. This is actually not playoff contention rankings or any sort. So on the East side, I'm going to start with the lowest rank, which is my 8th seed, and then go up from there. So my 8th seed for this year is going to go to the Chicago Bulls. This pick was very hard for me to put, since it will really depend on if Derrick Rose will come back and play this year. Doesn't matter if he comes back Christmas time or if he comes back later on during the late seasons. We will not see him for the first half of the year. That alone will drop them down from being a Eastern Conference contender to just trying to crack into the top 8 seeds in the Eastern Conference. So, not saying that their team is that bad, but he makes that team much better. He brings that the level of competitiveness to a different height, and with both his overall skill of slashing through the defense and being able to just contend with the superstars on other teams. His energy level is what brings the Chicago Bulls to that contender level, and not just being a squeeze into the playoffs type level. Carlos Boozer is the main factor of why I don't see this being a playoff contender regardless of Derrick Rose. Is he has never been consistent. I truly think that he was overpaid, and no matter what I see, it just doesn't seem like he's always in the game for the full 48. He's always, I think he's a player that looks for the stats first before making sure the team is doing well. He can definitely, when he's on, he can definitely turn in 25 and 10 easily. He's that good of a player offensively. Defense is definitely a liability with him not being able to defend even the mediocre to just decent small forward, power forward type players. His offense does not kind of outweighs or overshadows a lot of his defensive weaknesses. So he needs to pick up the pace and also be more dedicated to the team. And then the injury to Luol Deng and him not being able to take care of that over the summer because of the Olympics and then his decisions to do so, that to me kind of hinders Chicago to being at its full power even without Derrick Rose. He can definitely bring. Luol Deng to me is the Scottie Pippen, to me should be the default leader after Derrick Rose, since he does a lot of the other smaller things that the team needs to be done. Rebound, he defends usually their second or third best wing player or second best player. He scores. He does all of the dirty underneath the basket type hustle plays. He's definitely the strength of that team, and without him being at full power and full health, it's very difficult for the Chicago Bulls to take that next level. So with Chicago, and then Joakim Noah still lingering a little bit with injuries, everyone is basically still trying to figure themselves out at full power, and then having to figure that out without Derrick Rose, at least for minimum half the year. It's not going to be, the chemistry will not be there. So they have a lot of the weapons in place to be a very good contender. It's just they cannot put it together, especially without their star in place. So that's why I rank them very, very low, if not just squeezing into the playoffs. So that's still a very big toss-up. I don't see them not making the playoffs just because the rankings to me drop very dramatically after Chicago, and the other teams will have to make a push a little bit later in the season, especially if there's a chance that Derrick Rose comes in. I don't think Chicago will not make the playoffs this year. So